Before we get started, this is chapter 10, which is usually the final for season 2's, but I decided that I was going to probably make one of the 5 chapters because, one, I didn't really like how the ending went, so technically you're gonna get a season 3 with only probably up to 5 chapters, who knows, I don't know just yet, but I hope you guys enjoy the end of season 2. It seemed like the 2 hallways were either hell or heaven. The southern one seemed to glow with large windows that lined the halls as the sun peered through the stained glass. But on the other hand, the northern one, its curtains closed over the windows, letting no light shone whatsoever. Bakugou hummed as he looked to the southern hall, then turned on his heels, walking to the hellish hall. He tried opening every door, but none seemingly opened. They were all locked. But one seemingly did. The large double doors that were on the end of the hall. It slid open, slowly, until it opened all the way, showing a room with rows of bookshelves lined the walls with a fireplace. Bakugou hummed as he looked around. Then, noticing the fireplace had fresh ashes at the bottom, he walked over, noticing something within the ashes. It was shaped like a book, but if he picked it up, it could fall apart in his hands. How burnt is this? He asked himself as he looked over it, standing up and noting a spot in the bookshelf that had a missing book. He walked over to the other books. Is this your home? He tapped his foot, tisking as he looked away. Only shit about how the human brain worked. Wait. How the human brain worked. He picked the book, flipping through the book and noticing pages written in. Taking another look at the others, his eyes widened, noticing all the other books. They were hidden files. Books with labels that were qualified with the quirks. Taking one that had a file that caught his eye. Name, Ruka Shimura. Gender, female. Quirk, levitation gravital. Weight, 140. And height, 5 feet and 8 inches. Quirk. Info. Has a sister whose quirk is similar to hers, Nana Shimura. Her sister has a son who's an unknown. Haven't found yet. Both parents have passed. Nana is expected to be the new wielder of All for One. Take precaution when encountering both these females. Suitable. Bakugou was confused. Was he reading a document for a Nomu? But he was confused. All for One. Or was it? It couldn't be. Why was this woman in this book? Wait. He realized this woman was the same person in the photo. The one in the hallway. The staircase. She looked so happy in that photo here. It looked as if she was scowling in that one. And he began to read more and more about this woman. Noticing how she was a sister. Definitely the sister of Izuku Midoriya's previous quirk wielder. God. He looked down at all the books that he had gathered, seeing the amount of heroes and citizens that had been gathered for this so-called experiment. Shit. What is all this? Someone walked in. All for one's room. He threw the book over to his arms, and he bent down, looking over the book. Holy shit. He looked towards the man. Ruka. Is this where you've been? You knew her? Not really. But she was stubborn as shit. Bakugou walked over to him. There is no way in hell she would have a kid that murdered her sister. He looked with the dark eyes as he looked at all the other books. Ian, he calmly spoke. But, hey, kid. He patted Bakugou's back. I'll take it from here. You've done a good job. But this is going to take more than just one person. Bakugou only nodded, placing the books on a nearby table. I'm gonna go look around for any more information. And the hero only nodded. What did this hero have in relations with your mother? Were they partners? Were they friends? Were they possibly romantically interested in each other? Who knows? Or were they just knew each other at the same time? But it'd be impossible. They were in different ages. He shook his head as he took a breath as he walked out of the room, and it seemed like a deadly fog had encased it. Now he walked more and more, further and further, as he felt his lungs finally open with fresh air, moving through the room after room, finding nothing that interested him. Opening door after door was pissing him off. Nothing at all, but nothing. Quickly opening one more door. But wait. This room was different. Was this your room? It was quite luxurious, but also simple, having more of an old modern style. He walked in, looking around the room even more. The large window shone with the late sunlight as it shone, but a box caught his eye. He walked over and felt the box, his fingertips running over it, opening to see. A crown? He asked himself. Why would she keep something like that? He wondered. He then paused. Wait. He looked over to the crown and snapped it open. Man, I knew it. He spat to himself, remembering what one of the books had told him. Someone was trying to mind control you. Well, he guesses it worked for a bit until you broke free. Somehow, but they just got pissy. He laughed to himself as he placed it back into the box. He chuckled to himself as he looked more and more around the room, noting nothing of worthy. You watched as your father only looked at you, and you could tell he was disappointed. You didn't care anymore. You gave up on any hope of your so-called family that you were part of. Tell me, before I end up killing you in Shigaraki. You gulped in, wanting to feel guilty, but they don't deserve it. Hearing the giant movement stopping just beside you, you looked down, just enough to see him. Smash him to bits. And with that, the giant's hand came crashing down onto his body, and you could feel and hear the gasps as you felt blood spill onto your face, your chest, your legs, your hands, your feet, everything. It felt as if his blood had spilled entirely onto you, and nothing else. As if your skin had not been there. Why? Why did your life have to be this way? Why were you born? Why did you need to be born? You held yourself as tears spilled from your eyes. Kigamantia, we need to go to Shigaraki. You spoke as you stood up, looking to the other heroes. Get rest, he spoke, looking towards the giant, then again, slowly stepping into his hand as he places you so you wouldn't fall off so easily, holding tight as he moved at great speed. You felt the wind press through your hair and clothes, but questions kept playing through your mind. Being so big, how does he run so fast? Where was Nomu? Where was Agent? Did Bakugou make it to the manor? You closed your eyes, shaking your head as tears pricked the corners of your eyes. You needed to stay focused on one thing and one thing only, paying back Bakugou for everything he has done. Even if you were meant to go to jail for all the sins you have committed, you were going to pay him back, even if that was the last time you'd see him. You knew that this was your end. Step 1 was finished now, and step 2 needed to be dealt with first. Shigaraki was your goal now, your one time to get away from this life. Now that he was gone, it was just him and that stupid league of his. You looked over your hands, feeling the blood that was on it, and memories rushed to your mind. But now, that was all gone. It felt like your mind was fully yours. You saw the faces, the bodies at your feet when you walked, when you were controlled. Gekumakia cradled you away from the world, and you heard his tears mixed with yours as you sobbed, and he with you, but only silently. It was no time for this, though. You needed to make up your wrongdoings. Gekumakia, we need to see my brother now. You felt your heart race as you felt the wind, watched and wait for your next move, seemingly. But no one had stopped you from taking him and leaving towards where he was. You didn't know how he was or knew where he was, but you were grateful for his brains that he somewhat had. After this, it would all be gone, all away from your life, free from everything in this world, except the box that you would probably live in for the rest of your life. Though, when you got there, you don't know how, but he was done for. His body laid on the floor, dead, mostly. Thank you, Midoriya, you whispered as you fell to the floor. When you woke up next, you were in a hospital. It was pale and white, but when people came in, you said nothing. You don't know why, but your mouth would never move, and neither really did your body. Everything was gone, and you were glad. You felt as if you were broken, as if nothing truly mattered. That was until someone opened the door. Yin, tell them everything, and they promised to let you go free. You looked over to the voice and paused. You froze in your spot as you looked towards him. Why? You spoke with a gasp. Because of me finding this in your house. He showed a charred book. It looked like some of it was gone. What is that? You asked as you held it out and took it in your hands as you looked over it. I believe it's your mother's. Talks about you and him a lot. You opened the book, flipping through page after page. Just speak to me. He spoke as he pulled up a chair and sat beside your bed, just waiting. I killed her, my mother. No, he killed her. You spoke. This quirk is mine, yes. But it would have never done that to her. Telekinesis wouldn't explode her body, right? Second us meeting was all planned. It had to be. I don't know why or how, but it was. And third, he gave me these quirks so he could control me. I'm not human anymore. You paused, shaking as you held the closed book. This was never for me. It was for him to use me, to get info on you heroes, and I was supposed to kill you all. You finally looked up at him, and he was shocked to say the least. Nomu was supposed to make sure of it. He only pushed me. After we met, you watched his face move ever so slightly like he wanted to speak, then looking down towards the book. My father didn't keep me inside to keep me safe, only to use me as some innocent girl who knew nothing that would only a dumb person would help me. A hero. Tears had fallen from your face as you looked over. It was all too different, too difficult from what you needed. I hope you find someone better, Bakugou. You looked to him with teary eyes. Why are you saying that? He stood from his chair. I don't know why you were acting such like a fool. You suddenly spat at him with ladded eyes as you looked away. I'm the one who killed, murdered, and did so many awful things to people and heroes. Why would you want me? I am nothing but garbage, rubbish, trash. You stared back at him, and he swears. He saw his eyes in you at that point. Your father's. It's because I have grown to know you more. See what a lie is and not. You were lied to, and you should find yourself, and it should be with someone you know, someone that you trust. You looked at him. And what about Agent? He's been lied to as well. What makes him so different? You asked. If that's so, then we'll give him the same freedom as him. He held out his hand. That's only if you let me.